Can Islam Makhachev become the UFC's next double champion? Guys, that is what we are going to be discussing on today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Josh Beta for From the Stands, and we're going to be looking at Islam Makhachev and his chances of becoming the next welterweight champion and potentially becoming the UFC's next double champion. Been a while since we've had a double champ in the UFC, so we're going to take a look at a few variables here and who I think is going to be Islam's Islam's best case scenario for him to win a welterweight title. So obviously he's planning a permanent move to the UFC welterweight division. Um, he has really cleaned the division out bar Arman Tsarukyan, which is a fight that I think should definitely happen next. I understand, maybe there was some weight issues there for Arman. I feel like there was maybe more there than just a back injury. Um, Judging off what Dana has sort of the response he sort of had to him pulling out of this fight at UFC 311. So it remains to be seen what happens there. Um, so currently the UFC welterweight champion is this man here, Belal Muhammad. Um, Obviously on an incredible run at the moment, hasn't lost in a hot second. And at welterweight is definitely an absolute wrecking ball. What he did to Leon Edwards was insanely impressive.
G'day guys, Josh here for From the Stands. I'm just here to interrupt this video quickly to let you guys know about the sponsor of today's video, TrainAid. TrainAid and their proven line of supplements, including their signature product, TrainAid Hydration, are used by combat sports stars all over the world. Many UFC and boxing world champions are all using TrainAid to help fuel their workouts. TrainAid have been kind enough to give us a big discount code for all of our viewers to use when you guys shop online. If you use the code FTS15 at checkout, you'll receive 15% off all supplements and apparel on the TrainAid website. Head to trainaid.com or click the link in the description of this video.
That will be happening, you would imagine, next at welterweight. And I do think Islam, if he does indeed move up to welterweight, I do think his best case scenario, his best chance of winning a welterweight title is against Shavkat Rakhmanov. I think that's his best case scenario. Some may disagree, you may agree. Let me know what you think, but that's sort of where my head sits at the moment. Is that Islam's best chance of actually winning the welterweight title is for Shavkat Rakhmanov to beat Belal, and then Islam to fight Shavkat. I mean, either fight, Islam versus Belal, Islam versus Shavkat, both amazing fights. Whether he wants to fight Belal or not, with the being in the training room together and somewhat friends, I don't know. He doesn't strike me as the type of guy, Islam, that would fight a training partner or a friend. So it really, I think, depends on the Belal Muhammad Shavkat Rakhmanov situation and sort of how that all pans out. But he has, courtesy this post, courtesy of Home of Fight, he has said, he wants to move up to 170 and stay there. Technically, if you want to call it a double champion, he's still a double champion because you're a champion of two weight classes. He's not a champion. He wouldn't be a champion of two weight classes simultaneously should he vacate that 155-pound belt. That's for the person in my comment section the other week who couldn't understand that. But he said that he would give Justin Gaethje a shot at the lightweight title if Gaethje beats Hooker at UFC 313. So there's an option there if he does stay at 155. But I think all signs do point to Islam moving to 170. He's 33. He's sort of stated in the past that he doesn't want to fight past 35. So it's a big call. If Justin wins, he'll give a shot to Justin, which is a fun matchup. But I just don't see that being a competitive one anymore. I think Islam is just a world beater. He is levels above every other opposition he has in front of him, and has had for quite some time. And with Hooker, if Hooker's to win, you're not going to get. I don't think we're going to get Hooker versus Islam. I mean, unless it's something completely devastating, from Hooker. I just don't see Hooker getting another rematch, especially how the first fight went. Now, if we look at Islam on fight night, for his fight against Renato Moicano at UFC 311. This post courtesy of MMA Junkie. It's a shame we don't always get these. We don't always get these fight night gains posts. It is quite hard to find them. But this is the one from UFC 311. Islam obviously weighs in 154 and a half. He always looked really drained on the scale. So him and Khabib always looked very, very drained. So, and Khabib was another guy who could have moved to 170, and had some success there. But I think Islam weighing in on fight night at 178, he's gained 23 pounds, 24 pounds over the course of 24 hours or thereabouts is pretty incredible. And it makes me believe that he doesn't have to put on that much weight to fight at 170. I did try and look up Belal and Shavkat's fight night weights, and it's very hard to find. There's no real information on that, but he, if he puts on 10 pounds and fights at 188, I mean, he doesn't even have to fight that heavy. He could fight at 185 on the night, and I think he would be extremely competitive against a guy like Belal and Shavkat. I don't. I mean, I mean, let me know what you guys think. I just don't think Shavkat and Belal are coming in over 190. I wouldn't imagine so on fight night, weighing in at 170. So it would be interesting to know anyway. But I think Islam is so technically sound, so good, and so overall just an incredible mixed martial artist that he could fight at welterweight, slightly under these guys, slightly under the Belal and Shavkat, and still be extremely competitive and or win. This is obviously Islam and Belal next to each other. Islam looks taller in this photo, according to their stats. Islam's 5'10 and Belal is 5'11. I mean, there's photos for you. Look at the Islam looks like a whole like half head taller than Belal, so they're definitely similar size. I don't think it's a mismatch. Shavkat obviously is a bit taller at 6'1", I believe he is. Yeah, 6'1". It's a shame we don't get his, like I said, shame we don't get his fight night weights and what he weighs in at. But it is going to be interesting to see how this situation with Islam Makhachev plays out. I do think Islam has a very, very good chance of becoming the next UFC welterweight champion, and I think that would eclipse anything Khabib's ever done. I think he already has eclipsed Khabib's record and resume and where he's at in his career, especially as a lightweight champion, defended the belt more than any other lightweight champion that has been in the UFC. And his resume, in my opinion, is more impressive than Khabib's. I think Khabib had a pretty good resume, but I think we sort of, his big top names were his last three fights: Poirier, Gaethje, and McGregor. So I think Islam has a very good chance of becoming the next UFC welterweight champion, and I do think it is against Shavkat. I think he's going to have a harder fight against Belal. I do think he could beat Belal, but I think it's going to be a much harder fight. I think a fight against Shavkat, if we look at Shavkat and Ian Gary and how that fight played out, it let people know that Shavkat is beatable, and I think if there's anyone that could do it, I think it's Islam. I don't see Islam getting taken down by Shavkat. I think Islam has a pretty good chance of taking Shavkat down. Islam on the feet is very good. Shavkat on the feet is incredible, but I think Islam can match him on the feet. I think that would be his best route to victory. Whether that happens or not is remains to be seen. Obviously, we've got to wait for Belal and Shavkat to play out till we can get an answer. And Gaethje and Hooker. Maybe Gaethje wins in spectacular fashion. Maybe we get Islam Gaethje again, or for the first time rather. So there's a lot of factors to play out, but I do think Islam Makhachev can become the UFC welterweight champion, and the UFC's next double champion. Obviously, not simultaneously. He said he might vacate that 155-pound title, but he definitely has a very good chance of becoming the UFC's next welterweight champion. Let me know your thoughts and what you guys think. I would love to know. Drop them in the comments below. Next week we have UFC 312 in Sydney, so we'll have a lot of footage coming from there. And yeah, thank you guys for checking out this video. Please like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. And until next time, I will see you then.